All right, good morning, everybody. This is Gene from Phoenix 15 Studios. I have a very special guest this morning. We have Sherri E here with us. How are you today?
Good morning, Gene. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
That's good.
Sherri is an author, a lyricist, and she is currently has a book out that you can purchase. If you can see that. Poetrypot, Volume 1, Gangrene of the Soul.
Yes.
All right. So that you can actually purchase on our website. There'll be descriptions in the details below. Also, you can check out her website, and there's a link to the book there. So give me a little insight on the title. What brought you to that title?
Gangrene of the Soul?
Yep.
Well, when you're dealing with a loss and you can't wrap your head around it, especially a mother losing a child.
Right.
And it's like the meaning of gangrene, we know what that meaning is.
Right.
It's like once it get into your system and into your bloodstream, it's basically over.
Right, right.
So I came up with that concept, gangrene of the soul, because that's how deep my pain that I've been carrying, because I internalized, and I just said I got gangrene of the soul.
Okay.
And that's how that title came about, because it's deep, right. and grief is deep, yeah, death absolutely. Is deep.
Absolutely.
So that's why I came up with that, because I wanted to resonate with all the grieving, especially mothers, because we carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we love before fathers do.
Yeah.
You know, fathers love when they see that bundle.
Yeah.
Mothers love the minute they know.
Absolutely.
You feel that. So
yeah.
that's why I called it gangrene of the soul.
All right.
Of my soul.
Yeah. So in terms of your work,
mm-hmm.
How much was that a factor in getting to the point where you said, I'm going to put out a piece of work that encapsulates what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, and even more bravely share it, with the world? Do you think you would have written the book without that grief, or was the grief a driving force in pushing you to be creative and put this work out?
Very good question. You know, I was running. My mind was running. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I just.
So it's therapeutic in a way.
Right. Because, since a little girl, I used to write in my head all the time.
Right.
Before what happened to me, I worked as a social worker. I dealt in the social field.
Okay.
And I dealt with a lot of people, came across a lot of people, different situations, and I just always, and when I used to type my notes, because you always got to have your notes, that was law,
right.
Dealing with the social services. So my notes were so detailed because I used to like to write anyway. So, but when it goes back to what you're saying about what came to that point, I was hurting bad. I didn't know what to do. And as our culture, it's hard to talk about anything.
Yeah, you internalize everything. Yeah. You have to have this outward expression of strength and
right.
Being strong and not being weak. Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
And I started with volume 1, and because I don't want to give it too much away, because volume 2 is going to be way deeper.
Wow.
I had to do volume 1. I did like 8 chapters, and I did that just to test it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to test if I can do this and get through it, then I can release more of myself.
Yeah, the floodgates are open.
Right. Because
Yeah.
once you release your feelings, you ain't taking that back when you done wrote it in a
Yeah,
book.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
and so that's what I did. That's how I did it, because I didn't know what to do. I did some, it was some crazy things.
Right.
And volume 2, volume 3 will go into all that craziness. And then you'll understand what kind of really led me. I just don't want to give it away. But I was on a very roller coaster ride,
Yeah,
not a fun
absolutely.
ride.
No,
Yeah,
no. Yeah,
right,
but it leads you here. So that's the interesting part,
right.
because it
And
leads you here.
right,
Everything we go through, it leads you to where you are now. And
right.
you seem like you're in a good place right now. I don't want to be presumptive, but you seem like you're in a good place. You have what I wanted to say in reference to the book, accompanying music.
Yes,
And that's something I don't think I've ever heard of being done, where you have pieces of music that accompany, the poetry that you've written. And
right.
I did sit here and read through the first few chapters with the music playing, and it's a whole different experience from just sitting and reading it. I mean, it's good on its own, but when you
Thank you.
read it with the music, it's an emotional experience. And I really want to say I recommend that everybody read and listen at the same time, because it changes the whole context of the experience. Um,
Mhm.
what was the decision behind having music along with the literary work? How did you come to that decision?
Well, because I love music. And I think music, without music, there's no life. I grew up with music. I'm a 70s baby. So I grew up with my parents' music.
Yeah,
So I got that old soul.
yeah,
And
50s,
so,
60s, 70s. Yep.
yeah. So it's like, um, I thought people would, with music, music touches you in every aspect, whether music makes you happy, it can make you sad. It just, it's a healing too.
Yeah.
And I figured with writing some of, I did 4, I wrote 4 songs. And I figured writing it and hearing even a different version of what I wrote in my book, that people would feel it. I
Yeah.
didn't just want someone just to read the words, because when I hurt deep regardless. And when I love deep. That's just my personality.
Right.
So when I added the music, I wanted to do something different. I always try to think outside the box a
Yeah.
little bit, and maybe someone else can, perfect it even better, because
Right.
it's not all, it's not all about me. If I can have someone else, think, oh, that's a good idea. Like what you said, it made me so happy and proud that you said that, because that was my whole mission.
Yeah.
And I know now I raised the bar. So volume 2, they're going to be expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Where's the music?
now we need 6 tracks.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, she
But
gave
yeah,
us 8 chapters. Okay, she better bring more than that, and that's what I'm gonna
absolutely.
do. Each volume is going to be more,
So
and so yeah.
with the writing process, did you write the book with the music in mind, or did you write the book and then kind of say, hey, this would be a good idea to add some musical work to accompany this book? How did that
Actually,
process go?
actually, I wrote the songs first.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
because
interesting.
yeah, what I did, that's how I started. I started writing lyrics. I fell into it
Right.
because I always knew I could write. So that's how I started writing. I started writing lyrics, and it's hard because I'm not a singer.
Right.
So when you're a singer and a songwriter, you're a whole package. But when you're a lyricist and you just write, I try to dabble in the music and get my songs into, an artist's hand. It is very difficult.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been
It is
there.
very difficult,
Yeah.
and it's not what they're looking for, and it's like you got to have a deep soul. And the way I write, it's not always so deep. I write other lyrics, but
Right.
it's just I said forget the music. I mean, you put too much work into it. in regards to money, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That ain't working. I,
Yeah.
I have like over 100 songs I've written.
Wow.
And I create the beat in my head. And then I have to find a person, you know, you got to pay that person to sing it. It's like a scratch.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I'm willing to sell it, you know, if someone wants to buy, you know, but I don't want to be into that industry really, to be honest.
Yeah. It's some muddy waters. It's
Right.
some muddy
Exactly.
waters. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that, but
So
yeah, you
that's
got
how
it
I did
done.
the right.
Yeah, and that's the important part.
Right.
You got it done.
Right.
So basically, the lyrics are written by you. The book is written by you. You found an artist to express it the way you wanted it to be expressed, and it
Yes.
works.
She
So,
is very good. She's from the UK. Her name is Sherri.
oh wow, Sherri and Shari.
Yeah. And she's
Got
from the UK. And
wow,
she is a powerhouse. She's in her 20s. And
wow,
she is very good. And I found her on Fiverr.
wow. I've heard about Fiverr.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's amazing what the internet is doing. I mean, for all
Yeah.
the the bad things, there's a lot of good coming out of being able to connect with people around the world,
Right. Right.
with stuff like that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, the artwork in the book. Who's responsible for the artwork in your book?
I had a my vision, but I can't draw. I wish I could.
Right.
Because I have so many ideas. This little knowledge box, I can tell you, it's 24/8.
Right.
I don't
Right.
call
Yeah.
it 24/7. I call it
Got an
24/8.
extra day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, this poor guy, I gave him a tip
Right.
because he was so good to me, because I'm like, no, that's not it. When I see it and I
You'll
vision
know. Yeah.
it, I know. And when
Yep.
I look at it, I'm like, no. So we just kept going, you know, back and forth. And I found him on Fiverr. Like I said, I was on a budget. You
Right.
know, I'm not going to admit I don't have a coins where I can just maybe one day, but I
Yeah.
still think I would want to help the little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many undiscovered talents
Right.
around.
Right.
And without the support of each other, I think we all stay in the
Exactly.
same place.
Right.
And
that's
that's
why I
what pretty
said,
much brought me here to start reaching
mhm,
out to people and kind of putting a highlight on their work and sharing it with everybody else in hopes that we'll meet the next person and the next person and just kind of
right.
bring it to the forefront, because there's a lot of music to be heard. There's a lot of books to be read that
Right.
probably won't have the money behind them to be
Is
advertised and promoted the way they should be.
right.
And this is potent stuff. This is not just a throwaway. Like, this is a part of you, and I feel like it's super powerful. The little bit I've read is super powerful. So I'm gonna promote it as much as I can.
I
I'm
appreciate
hoping
you.
we can get people to buy it and comment and let us know what you think about the experience of reading and listening at the same time. Again, we'll have the links in the description just so everybody can kind of dial in, buy the book, pull up
Right.
SoundCloud, listen to the music, and just talk about it. It's about discussion. Maybe someone has
Mhm.
gone through something similar.
Yeah.
Maybe they just know a friend or have a family member who's going through something similar, and this may help them.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's an amazing project, and definitely appreciate you taking the step to put it into the world.
Thank you.
We're taking steps ourselves this year to try to put things into the world. Like, my wife and I have been creating for a long time, but have
Hmm.
never really put anything out. We've
I'm
never put
digging
our
your background. I love it.
yeah, it's green for a reason.
I
It's
love
green.
it. Yep. Very
So,
nice.
yeah, so we're starting to put our work out there and really express ourselves without care of what people may think or what their opinion is. It's for us. It makes us happy, and if along the way, someone else can gain something from it or enjoy it,
Oh
then by all
yeah.
means, that's pretty much what it's all about.
This is
Um,
my first interview
yeah,
about
yeah.
the
Well,
book.
this is my first time interviewing, so it all works. It all
Well,
works
you're
out.
very good at it. And I'm going to
Thank
make
you,
sure I
thank
give
you.
you a shout out on my platforms
I appreciate it. I
and
appreciate it.
get people to follow you, because you're very easy to talk to.
Thank you. That was the whole goal, just to make it casual and comfortable
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
So going forward, with everything that's going on in the world right now, I know that we'll talk about that a little bit, but
Okay.
what plans? I know you said you have a volume 2 in the works.
Mhm.
It sounds like with all the music you have written, you have volume 2 through 10 already ready to
You know,
roll.
you
So
know,
what's do you have a structured plan for when these are roll, or are you just kind of letting it flow organically and kind of go from there?
I really, I want to, the way I work, I'm a workaholic, so I can just write.
Right,
But you know how it goes. You know, I want to see how volume 1
right,
and get a little fan base just to, because the reason why I want to put my life out there, so when I start writing other things, you know what I mean? I
right,
want people to know me.
right.
And then they can see when I start writing children books in the future, when I write novels, you know, because I got a very, I can imagine, my mind is very imaginary. And so they can kind of get to know me. And that's why it was hard. Because
Right.
as a writer, I did my research, and you have to let your audience know who you are.
Yeah. And that's the
And
scariest part.
I was very scared
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because my part is sad.
yeah,
And but I had to release that. If I'm going to be honest with the people, I have to be honest with Sherri.
yeah,
And I'm going to tell you, I did an audible with it also. I did my own audible with the book. It was hard.
yeah,
Writing it was okay, but when I had to read it as an audible, did the audible with it,
yeah,
I had to stop because it's like it happened yesterday.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah. So
You're speaking your history and your experience.
right. So
Yeah,
I wanted to sort of get that out of the way, get them to
yeah,
know who Sherri is, know my life, and that's a big part of my life.
right,
And then I figure once I get that out, because I could have easily just talked about something else. But since I don't have my babies, it was a disservice
right,
to them
right,
and to me, because I need to acknowledge it. And when you see volume 2, you'll understand the journey of why I'm no longer working as a social worker, what I've done to myself, self-harm. It's going to be so deep. It's going to talk even about our people and
right.
how I have a chapter in there called therapy, because Black people, as our people, we may speak it, but indoors, we don't accept mental health.
Yeah, yeah. We shun it as a weakness, and that's
And that's what made me scared.
yeah,
And I'm still embarrassed. And I know I shouldn't be.
right, right.
I am.
Absolutely,
I'm embarrassed that I put my business out there. Because
right,
you don't do that. You don't
exactly.
talk about your business.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how that
Keep
goes.
that to yeah, absolutely. Keep that to
Right.
yourself.
Yeah, you keep that to yourself.
Yep.
But that's just the way it is with our people.
You know what you find with that sometimes? I feel like a lot of times that comes from the people that didn't experience it worried about how they'll be looked at, and it's not even their experience to deal with. So I found that as soon as I stopped worrying about what people thought of me or what they would think other people would think of me in their context and started putting it in my own court, that's
Mm-hmm.
when things became a little easier for me. I don't think I'm where you are yet, not quite,
No.
but
Well,
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
yeah,
But I can definitely feel every bit of what you're saying. I definitely understand
right.
about putting pieces of
Medication
yourself out
changes you
there.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's probably one reason I was able to do that a little bit, because it makes you the opposite of who
right,
you are. You know,
exactly.
it changes you a little bit.
Yeah,
But yeah. So did I tell you I did my own audible? Yeah, I did my own
yes,
audible. So
yes,
people can hear my voice. You hear you can't hide it. You can't hide that pain.
Yeah, I was
You
just thinking
can't
that.
hide that pain.
Now I want to hear that, because I was just thinking that same thing. Like, how do you get through it? How do you project that emotion, but keep it together to actually get through the work?
Right.
'Cause I'm telling you, I was reading it and it got me. Like it like that 3 chapters I read, it was just it was deep. So I definitely want to experience it from all aspects, and I want to hear the audible, and definitely finish reading the book and wait for volume 2. We get a lot of messages. I'm anticipating now. You got me. You
Yeah.
got me. Yeah.
No, good. I'm glad because I really want it to come out by the end of this year.
Okay.
Volume 2.
Awesome. Okay.
Because people, when they see volume 1, okay, we know a volume 2 coming. So I needed to get enough people to want to know what volume 2 is. You know what
Right.
I mean? When they
Exactly.
read volume 1. And see, now that I'm, being on your platform and you're helping me,
Yeah.
which I appreciate it so much.
No,
I
no, thank you for
appreciate
coming
you.
on. No, thank you
You
for
know,
coming on. And we'll definitely I want to keep this at the forefront, and we'll continue to talk about it and push it along with you, in
right,
hopes that people will catch on and generate the conversation. The conversation needs to be
right.
had, whether it's from a law standpoint, whether it's from a medication standpoint,
Oh yeah,
whatever point people want to discuss it from, at least the discussion is being had,
right.
and that's very important. So um,
And I'm
multi
definitely going to be speaking of, I'm sorry, I didn't
no,
mean
no,
to.
that's fine. Go
I
ahead.
was going to tell you that that's going to be discussed too.
Good.
Medication,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a big one. That's a big,
psychiatry, all that.
yeah.
And that's
Especially,
hard for us Black people.
yeah, yeah. Especially with young people dealing. It seems like it's increased presence
Oh,
of
it breaks my heart.
medication and things like that with the younger generation. So for them to kind of see it on the other end, and hear
Right,
people openly discuss it, would definitely
right,
be helpful to this
right,
generation, because the healing starts from the front.
right.
You gotta really catch it at the beginning, so
And if
people
they
can
see
kind of,
more people that look like them,
yeah,
and even though mine is talking about, the tragedy that happened to me, people still be able to resonate with it when we're dealing with talking about medication,
right,
therapists,
yeah,
all mental health.
yeah,
They'll still be able to resonate with that when they're going through it, and the embarrassment of it and how it makes you feel.
exactly,
So I want to, even though it's talking about what happened with me with losing, our children, it's still, I want to reach out, especially to the babies, the young people,
right,
because they going through it.
absolutely.
And at our age, at their age, when we were their age, didn't experience what they're going through.
No, no, it's a different world now. It's a
And it
different world
breaks my
now.
heart to
Yeah,
see them. They're
it
supposed
is.
to be happy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It just breaks my heart.
Yeah, they're forced to grow up a little too fast these days.
Right,
Um,
right,
the best we can do is make sure they're prepared.
right.
Because the world is what it is, and we can't shove them in the closet and hide them from it. They need to be prepared.
No,
They
no.
need to be prepared.
And sometimes the best way is talking to someone that you don't know personally.
Right.
Easy to open up to.
Yeah, and there's no judgment. There's no preconceptions of who they are. You just
Right,
have somebody here, who they
right.
are and what they're going through. So I
Exactly.
definitely agree with that.
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
I think you're going to be successful.
That's the
Phoenix
plan.
Studios,
That
you
is
will be
always the plan.
successful. I
Thank you.
shouldn't say think, you will be successful.
I appreciate it. That's
Yeah,
we're trying to manifest it and spread it at the same time, simultaneously.
right.
So I don't want to
Yes.
wait until we get where we want to be to start helping other people. We want to help.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, we want to grow together. So
Yes.
that's the plan. That's been our plan from the conception.
Yeah.
To help people and artists, promote themselves and get their
Right.
work seen and heard, and everything else. So
And that's why you and your wife going to be successful,
I hope so. I
because
hope
you
so.
think about other people. Because
Yeah,
you think about other people. You're not just thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how you help other people.
yeah. All we are is a culmination of experiences and interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about it from that standpoint, who would you be without other people? everyone
Right.
says, "Oh, I don't need nobody," but that's
Yes,
not
you do.
really true. That's not
No.
really true. You are the sum of all your experiences, whether that
Yes.
be people, music,
Hmm.
art, whatever. You're the
Hmm.
sum of all those people, good and bad.
Right.
So in a way, you don't directly need people, but everybody needs those interactions and those experiences. So
You need
that's pretty
somebody.
much, yeah, that's what we built on. And we're going to keep trying to build on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Very good.
with quarantine, do you think this is has been more of a motivational environment where you kind of have more time to sit and kind of work, or has it been a hindrance on getting out and experiencing and coming back and kind of writing what you experience?
Well, part of that is in my book too, about how it is being by yourself or being sheltered, because I've sheltered myself,
Right.
you know, and so I've been in quarantine in the aspect.
So nothing really changed for you when
Right.
this happened. Yeah.
But I wanted to still get out, and write out and go some to a different area,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
because I'm starting to do, and then when that hit, it's like,
But
oh,
you're right back into the wall where you
put
were.
me right
Yeah.
back when I was taking these little steps to
Yeah.
get
That's the way.
myself.
That's the way life works sometimes, though.
Yeah.
I've had some, like yesterday. I was having issues with the program that I use, and it was just like
Mhm.
I'm trying to get things done, and I actually have like a schedule made out for myself, which I've never done. Trying to stay organized, and these
Gotta
little
be
things
organized.
keep happening where
Yeah.
it's trying to prohibit you from getting it done. And I just said,
Right.
you know what? I'm just going to use another program. I keep trying to just go around,
Right.
everything that jumps in my way. So,
Persistence.
and that's pretty much what you have to do. Just find another
Patience.
route.
Yeah.
Find another route. Um,
So I feel bad for the young people with the quarantine.
yeah,
It has affected me in a way because you got to be careful around, even with your own family, wear the mask and all. We're not used to that,
no,
and I
no,
don't want people to say this the new normal.
exactly. Yeah. And we have a pretty huge family. I have 7 children. My father has 7 children. Uh, he also has 6 siblings himself.
Wow, you have a
So I have
big
lots of
family.
aunts, uncles, all my family's in the immediate area, and we're always getting together,
Right.
impromptu
That's the
dinners,
part.
barbecues, birthdays, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 6 or so months, we haven't had any of that. So it's been hard for all of us. My dad lives out in Maryland. Haven't
I
seen
think
him in
you
a
break
few
it
months, but we talk on the
down.
phone, pretty regularly.
Right.
But it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
So
No barbecues.
no,
That's
no.
how we do in the summertime.
Yeah, yep,
That's yeah. So
absolutely. So
that kind of hindered.
yeah,
I hope it passes.
yeah, it will. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to doing what we normally do and creating like we want to.
People just
Um,
gotta wear their mask and just
yeah,
cooperate.
yeah, sit still for a little while. Maybe
Yeah.
it's for a reason. We have time to get closer to our kids and do
Yeah.
things in the
Your
house and
spouse.
explore hobbies you've
Mhm.
never had time to do. Um,
Right.
explore your passions and kind of grow yourself in a different way. So
Right.
I take it as a curse and a blessing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't change a whole lot for me as far as going
Hmm.
out, but it did give me a lot of free time to get things done that I wanted to do and start
Right.
learning new things. So it's definitely been not all bad, not all bad.
No, no, not all bad because you know, look at the ones that are like coming out with writing.
Yeah,
And when I'm still thinking that I have that young man in my head ever since you showed me that book because
yeah,
he's young and he wrote a book.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
powerful.
yeah, be on the lookout for him. His name is Darius Broach.
To
Yeah, we'll see. I'll see if I can get you a copy and I'll send it out to you. So you can read it. But it
right,
seems like it's very, very much in the vein of your book and dealing with grief and things along that line. But I
right.
can't wait to read that.
I'm proud of that young brother.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I had to buy 2 copies just to support him because
Yeah.
I told her your son is writing a book. I'm trying to get my kids to barely clean their room.
What's the age ranges? Is it please?
uh, from 3 all the way to 19.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
you
got the
got
whole,
baby, and you
yeah,
got good look. Okay.
yeah, I got the whole range. So
Yeah.
yeah, and all boys and one girl. I have an 8-year-old girl, or 9-year-old girl. I'm sorry,
All boys and one girl.
one girl. Yeah, so yeah, it's a party every
Hey,
day.
princess.
Yeah, 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 for real, for real. Yeah,
But no, I want to support that young man. So
yeah,
you just let me know because I want to
definitely.
support him.
Yeah, I'll be
You
talking to
know.
her. I'm going to try to arrange so where we can have him on and him and his mom on, and they can talk a little bit about
Yes,
the book and
I
things.
would definitely love to see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. We'll definitely be
Thank
talking
you.
again soon with the
Thank
new book
you.
coming out and hopefully new music. We can collaborate a little and
Okay.
we can do some things together.
I would love
That's
that
all.
because
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
a whole catalog of writings, and all I need is some vocals and some beats.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I got all that covered. So we'll definitely speak on that. And it's been, like I said, it's been a pleasure speaking to you again.
Same to
Poetry
you.
Pot Volume 1, Gangrene for the Soul. You can get it on Amazon. Just search Sherri's name on the author. We'll have the link in the description. And SoundCloud, you can find the accompanying music to go with the book. I'll have that link in the description as well. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for taking time to speak with me today.
Thank you,
And we'll
G.
definitely be talking to you soon.
Yes, let's keep in touch. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
Blessings to you and your family.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.